as the most important thing in your life. Right after God come your parents, and you're supposed to obey them in everything they say. You've got almost no contact with the outside world. The Amish have no electricity, TV, radio. All you know is the Amish way of life. But the day you turn 16, your whole life changes.
You start dating.
Go shopping in malls.
Start dressing English.
Go to the movie theater.
Go bowling.
Watch TV.
Get a haircut.
Go to parties.
Get a car.
Go cruising.
Get drunk.
Sleep around.
Amish kids in the ages of 16 to 21 have to make a very difficult decision. They have to decide whether to get on their knees before God, make that promise, and join the Amish church. After they join the church, they are expected to follow the teachings and the rules for the rest of their lives.
Part of me thinks I want to be like my parents. Another part of me thinks I want the jeans and the car and just kind of do what I want to do.
It is definitely getting tougher for young people. There's so much more to deal with. You just don't know what you're gonna do.
I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I wanted to be in life, except that my only options were being Amish and wearing these type of clothes all my life. And now that has changed.
It all goes back to the question of, do I want to be Amish or not? That is the question. To be or not to be.
A key to what the Amish believe comes from 1 John 2:15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that doeth the will of God abideth forever.
We want to be a chosen vessel, a group of people that are different from the world. We're supposed to be the light of the world. We're supposed to let our light shine, that they can see our good works and praise God, not ourselves.
We believe that you're supposed to keep yourself apart from the world, and you're not supposed to make life too easy for yourself.
We believe that the horse and buggy keeps our lifestyle simpler and slower. We have more time to think about God's creation.
We believe that after you're married, you should grow a beard instead of putting a ring on your finger, which you can take off.
We believe that makeup, jewelry, and nice clothes is all just vanity and is not good for a Christian mind.
We believe that a man is the head of the household,
and the woman is the weaker vessel.
We believe that you should have as many children as you can.
There are a lot of Amish families with more than 12 kids.
We believe that idle hands are the devil's workshop.
the busier you keep yourself, the more you stay out of trouble.
We believe that you shouldn't have insurance or any lightning conductor.
It's our Christian duty to help each other out if someone's in trouble.
We believe that using the Pennsylvania Dutch language keeps the Amish traditions going.
Tradition is very valuable. You don't need to know why.
You should just be satisfied with the way things have always been.
We believe everybody's life should be a witness to Christ, and that should speak for itself. It's a good religion. I mean, it really is. I really think it is. And I know for a fact that if I was Amish and stayed within the rules of being Amish, you know, and I had the right frame of mind, I'd get into heaven. I've decided that's how I want to live my life. I'm going to join the Amish church. It's like rebirth. You have to start over, completely over. I've got this girlfriend, her name's Sarah. She's not Amish, she's English. She said she'd join the Amish church with me, but that's practically unheard of. It's too hard for anyone from the outside world to make the change. Normally, Amish guys join church once they've found an Amish girlfriend and want to settle down. If your girlfriend's not Amish, well, you pretty much have to say goodbye. I'd have to forget everything. Everything that I've ever done while I was an Amish. Forget the clothes, forget the memories. I mean, how the hell am I supposed to do that? You know, but that's the way it's supposed to be.
I remember when I first started wondering what it was like not being Amish. I started buying makeup and, you know, it just looked so interesting. I wanted to know.
Amish people believe that the outside world is the devil's playground. For us to be exposed to that is basically like playing with fire.
They've been so held back from everything, like even going to the movies or stuff like that. When they get to the age of 16, they just want to experience this whole new world.
The first turned 16, going to the mall was like my dream.
I felt that I could do anything I wanted to.
The biggest thing that changes when you turn 16 is you start going to parties.
What's happening? What are you guys doing?
Most Amish kids have cell phones, so if one guy decides to have a party at his place, he calls all of his friends, they call all of their friends. Within an hour, hour and a half, everybody knows about it.
Okay. Okay, see ya. Bye. Basta identificare si coma. I'm coming up.
The Amish kids or teenagers are known to have parties where you'll have several hundreds of kids there. They bring them in from other states. Some of the kids have it on their own parents' property. Usually the parents know what's going on. They just think, well, it's out in the back field and we're not going to mess with it.
The biggest party I've ever been at, there were over 1,500 people there that they counted. Amish kids from Montana, Florida, Texas, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois, New York State.
You turned 16 like my first weekend. It was all the alcohol I could drink. Everybody's just piling it on you. And it's just what you're expected to do.
First party I went to, I got really drunk. I mean, really drunk.
I was freaking out 'cause I didn't know what a party was, but got drunk off my ass, puked, just, a couple beers.
I remember waking up the next morning in the front lawn under a tree. The tree was dripping on me because it rained during the night. thinking, oh my God, I can't believe I just done that.
I was scared right at first, but I just kind of partied on.
Rumspringa, literally translated, means running around. It's a time for the youth to attend their parties and do those kinds of things. This Rumspring is a time during which a person needs to make his individual choice as to whether he will follow Jesus Christ or not, and he cannot make that decision until he is accountable, which is generally accepted as being over the age of 16. He will hopefully, of course, make that decision positively, not only to follow Christ, but also to be baptized and become a member in the Old Order Amish Church.
To promise to God that you're going to follow and obey the rules and regulations of the church and abide by them to the best of your knowledge or the best that you can do.
For how long?
For life.
Oh, shit. Let's get to it. I hope that's it. Works for me.
You should close that window, it's blowing too much, dude. You're gonna lose some of the carpet.
I wish I had my scales here. I'm selling pretty much to just support my habit. I mean, whatever money I make off of selling it, I put back into it for myself. I'd say, myself personally, I spend I'd say an average of about $100 a day, $100 worth a day that I do, around $1 a day. Then I'm also working and my whole paycheck goes to that.
I got a job now. I'm kind of glad I didn't go through school. Because, dude, I wouldn't have nothing. I mean,
In some ways. In other ways, think about it. If you'd have gone to school, might have gotten a scholarship, being like ready to go to college now. In 4 more years, you'd have a destination in life. You'd have a purpose. I mean,
well, I got a purpose. Have
a
fun.
factory worker for the rest of your life?
Oh, that's me.
Have fun, man.
50 years ago, you worked on the farm. Your mom and dad were there as supervisors, and you worked with your brothers and sisters. And you didn't have a lot of spending money. Now they work in factories and they have their pockets full of money. Because that they have money, they are buying automobiles. Because they have automobiles, they have free access to liquor, and they have access to dope and this type of thing much more freely than before. It's hard to train your children to be different from everybody else. There's too much peer pressure.
He got busted. Whose house?
Paul.
Yeah, over at Paul's house. They did a raid over there.
Got him with a couple counts of possession each, couple counts of dealing each, and a couple counts of intent to sell each.
Sting operation. They've been watching the place for the last 3.5 months.
Straight up, if he don't join church right now, he's gonna get his ass whooped bad by every single drug dealer, you know.
Why?
Because we both got arrested. I mean, you know that story.
So?
The 2 people went to jail and me and Farron didn't. But that makes us look like we snitched on everybody.
What happens, happens, you know, it's fate. You can't control what's gonna happen. I mean, right now, might be somebody outside the window with a shotgun. Step through the door, boom, I'm dead. And what, you know, and if it's supposed to happen, it will. If it's not supposed to happen, it won't. I don't know, there's something wrong with me. And I keep seeing light. I don't know. I mean, light like outside. Who the fuck's out there? Get the fuck in here.
Rejoice, O young man, in thy youth, and let thy heart cheer thee in the days of thy youth, and walk in the ways of thine heart and in the sight of thine eyes. But know thou this, that for all these things God will bring thee into judgment.
During the time when I was limb springing, I did worry about, you know, what if I don't go to heaven just because I did, you know, just because I left. And, you know, people would say, it's okay, you know, if you have Christ in your life, it's okay. But it still, there was always just that fear.
The Amish people in general would not believe that a person is saved who was not baptized. And the Amish teenager would be considered lost if they would die or be killed during that time.
It's in the back of my mind almost every day that if I don't change my ways, I might not get to heaven. But we cope with it, I guess.
I wish I could say that I have never opened a can of beer. You know, that'd be great. I wish I could say that, but I can't. Every time there was a party, I was there and I was drunk. I was just hanging out with anybody I wanted to, going out with any guy I wanted to. Who cares? I did things I wish I wouldn't have done. I didn't dress Amish. I went to a Baptist church. I didn't live at home for 5 months. For a girl, that's almost unthinkable. People started talking to me. My parents started talking to me, and they're like, you know, we really don't like what you're doing. But they didn't say, you have to change. I finally decided, you know, I can't do this anymore. So, I'm changing.
You turn 16, you go out and you have fun and party. Then you go back to the Amish, you join the church, and then you, like what they call settle down. Then you get married, and you have children, and you just do the same thing over again. I think my depression started when I was 16. At the time, I don't know that I was totally aware of what depression was. And I thought by drinking and partying that might make it go away. But it didn't. I was really struggling with suicidal thoughts. I didn't trust myself, and I knew that I needed to seek psychological help. I called my doctor, and my doctor referred me to Oakland Hospital. And that's where I was for about 2 weeks. It was really important to my family that I come home, that I not be at the hospital. When I went back, I felt a lot of pressure to join the Amish church. And I thought maybe I would just become a member. Maybe that would shine some light on some of that darkness. I didn't know what else to do.
Who makes those pens?
My mom made these. Actually, she made these just probably a couple months ago for me, because they're for me when I joined church. So she made these for me just a couple months ago, which was when I told her, you know, I was going to join church. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it.
What do you think?
God saves what's worth saving, is kind of what I think. I'm not scared. Well, I'm worried. There's a lot of shit going on that I could get f***ed, yeah. Definitely.
Personally, I don't think you'll live that long. It's a well-known fact that if you knock out a drug dealer, you're liable to get killed.
This is a bonnet I wore to church. It's been like 3 years since I last put it on. This was going to be my wedding dress. My boyfriend and I had already joined the church, and we were anticipating and preparing for our wedding. And about 4 weeks before the wedding, I decided that I could no longer stay Amish. I think he really personally struggled with the loss of friendships that he would have had to deal with if he would have left with me. But that was really sad. When I made the dress, I really liked it. I guess when I made it, I was thinking on the day that I would get married, I would feel like a queen. But now that I have it on, I don't see it that way anymore. I think I see it as something that covers up the girl that I really want to be. It makes me feel like I used to when I was Amish. Like I had nowhere to go.
The individual is more of a problem than anything else. The unsatisfied mind. Some of that inborn nature we can't deny, but that's one of the duty of a Christian is to control that inborn nature.
That's really the main thing about being Amish. You don't question. You just more or less just give up, you know.
Even as a young kid, I think I realized the benefits of being in a close-knit community. And if you're going to have good community, each individual has to give up some of that individuality.
It was hard to give up some of the stuff. You know, yeah, it definitely was.
What do you miss?
My transportation, basically, you know.
If I was to join church tomorrow, I'd miss my vehicle first of all, big time. Once you get a vehicle, you kind of realize what the other people are going through, you know, and what pace they're going. You know, if you got a horse and buggy, there's people going boom, boom, you know, going around you, and you're like, wow.
I don't think as much about my transportation unless I get on my bicycle like this morning. It was raining and oh Lord, geez, here I gotta go bike to work, you know. And the first probably 3 or 4 years after we was married and joined the church, why I thought for a while I just couldn't make it, but oh well, I got used to it. It's not that bad anymore.
After I left the Amish church, I was shunned. If you've joined church and then leave, they will shun you. The shunning for them is their last way of showing you they love you. They think that you're breaking a promise that you made to the Amish church. They're afraid for your soul. I lost the support of my family. Nobody would talk to me. It was like I wasn't even there. When I moved out on my own, my dad always told me, you can't live without us. The more he said that, the more I wanted to prove that I could. As time goes on, things keep getting brighter.
I slept for 5 days straight. First 5 days that I was off, I slept for 5 days straight. I woke up like 3 times. And that was just to get a drink of water and eat a little bit. I'd go back to bed. My mom and dad thought I was gonna die.
Let go. Go! Oh, you can't do that! Oh, you can! Oh, where you at? I got blocked!
When I first met Farron, he'd been clean for about 3 weeks. He never smoked weed or even drank beer or anything. So I knew him being himself, and I liked it.
All my aunts and uncles were like so happy for me, you know, that I got an Amish girlfriend. They kept on coming up to me. You got such a nice girlfriend, you know, congratulating me and stuff.
A lot of the young kids, when they get together, they're allowed to date and stuff like that without being chaperoned, like some of the English would have to be chaperoned. It's more or less condoned in some of the families that, not that they have sex, but that they get pretty intimate. You know, they're allowed to. You put them in a room together, in a dark room together. I mean, you know, things are going to happen.
Du möchtest spiegeln, wie es ist.
Fast nicht, gleich nicht wie?
Ja.
Das ist ganz schön.
Ja, es ist noch Amish. Frau,
We've got the problems of unwed mothers, premarital sex, dope, drinking, smoking, and all that. We've got every problem that the society has got in the world today. If our young folks are involved in these things before they're members of the church, we have no jurisdiction over it. But if they got rid of all those things and come back within the ordinance of our church, we would welcome them back with open arms.
I remember one night when he called me down here that we had a fight. That was the first night he did drugs again. Sometimes I think, you know, if I would have called him back, maybe he wouldn't have.
When I was a young Amish girl, I never dreamt that I would ever have a career. Your options were kind of laid out for you. You would become a homemaker and a mother. I've been doing a lot of thinking about going to college. Something that I think I'd be very interested in would be being a counselor. I used to take counseling right after I left the Amish. I was really struggling at that point, and counseling was very helpful. It's very exciting for me to be able to think that I have all these options out there. It's freeing, it's awesome.
I don't know if what I'm doing is right. My parents say it's wrong because they're afraid I'll have no chance of living a Christian life. But I told them just give me a chance. I just want to see if I can actually make it on my own. 97214. Hello? You've got a lawn care business, right? Okay, you're not hiring, are you? Yeah. Just whatever. I just moved down here. I'm planning on staying permanently, and I'm just looking for a job.
Probably you'll start out the first couple days edging and growing. At first, you may not do it real well. I mean, it sounds simple, but there's a skill involved. There's a technique.
We're willing to work with somebody that's not real experienced as long as they're really motivated.
Okay,
you know?
I mean, I'll do my best. I mean, I'll give them my help.
I guess you just got here. Would you be able to start on Monday if we hired you?
Yeah, definitely. I'm able to start as soon as possible.
You have transportation?
Yeah, I've got a car.
Oh, okay. Just to make sure.
Thank you for coming out.
Thanks for coming out. You grab this door here. It's easy.
We'll call you for you, okay?
I wasn't wearing a seatbelt. I should have been. This is so screwed because now I don't have a job.
Well,
Unless I get a car before this coming Monday. This really sucks.
at least we're all right.
Dear Velda, the admissions committee at Christ for the Nations Institute is pleased to welcome you as a student. CFNI has a great many things to offer, and we are confident that you too have qualities the Institute family can glean from. I didn't specifically dream about going to college and going to school or things like that when I was Amish. I knew that there was more to life. At the time, I had no idea what it was, but I just knew that there just had to be more. I guess I never really dreamed that I'd be going to college. It really, if I really think about it, it really blows my mind.
Me and Emma were talking to one of the valet guys over at the hospital yesterday. I told him I was looking for a job, and he said they had openings there, so I'm going back today to see if they'll give it to me.
I know Farron can make a whole new start here. He starts his new job today. He's only been here like a week. Sure, he wrecked his car the second day here, but he's free here. No one knows him. No one can say, that's the boy that got busted. That's the boy that used to be a drug dealer and turned someone else in. He's free. What's fun?
You sure? All right.
Here, let me do your makeup.
My makeup?
September 12th is the day I'm going to be baptized. They'll have church just like usual, but it'll go a little bit longer. I have to go down on my knees and promise to stay with the church and rebuke the world, the devil, and my own flesh and blood. And then they'll baptize me in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. What I want to do with my life is be a true witness for Christ and try and be a good example to other young folks. Some people might think, whoa, that'd be boring, but for me, I'm excited about it.
don't know if I'm still Rumspringer or I don't know what I am. I'm not English and I'm not Amish. I'm just me. Sometimes I kind of wish I would have gone Amish when I wanted to. I'd have it easy back there. I'd have a place to live, I'd have a nice job. That's what I was raised to be, and I would feel like nothing can change that because that's like God's plan. My brother's joining church this fall, along with a whole bunch of other kids that I used to hang around with from our church. My mom really wants me to come back and join church. I told her I might someday, I might not. You know, Jesus didn't get baptized till he was 32.